Hi friends, good day. Today I am taking out, as I told you in the last class, the issue of shares at premium. So let me start this today. Issue of shares at premium. When company goes for issue of shares at premium, as I told you in the last class briefly about share premium, we need to separate the premium account, and that cannot be added to share capital. Share capital is always shown at face value. Either you are issuing shares at premium for cash or for consideration other than cash, the treatment will be the same. So what is shares issued at premium? When they are issued at a price higher than the face value. When shares are issued at a price higher than the face value. When shares are issued at a price higher than the face value is called as issue of shares at premium. And you know that excess price is called security premium. That excess price is called as security premium. That excess price is called as security premium. Okay, next point. And that premium must be credited to a separate account called as security premium. That premium must be created to a separate account called as security premium. I think these 3 points I've explained. Issue of shares at premium. Shares are issued at a price higher than face value. That excess price is called security premium. That premium must be created to a separate account called as security premium. Okay, now we let us look at the accounting treatment of security premium. Accounting treatment of security premium. Now the question is that where this premium amount, see, we have seen in the last class, the amount can be collected by the company from issue of shares at the amount can be collected, the face value of the share can be collected in installments, application, some amount, allotment, call money, like that. Now this premium money, how it is being collected? I'll give a small example. Suppose 10 rupees is the face value of share, and they say that I told you premium is more than face value, so 2 rupees is premium. Now this 12 rupees is called as issue price. It is called as issue price. This 12 rupees, how it will be collected now? Say 2 rupees on application, or let me put it like this: 3 rupees on application. Okay, 4 rupees on allotment, 5 rupees on first and final call. Say for example. So it is coming to how much? 5 plus 4, 9 plus 3, 12 rupees. This 12 rupees they are collecting like this. Now this 2 rupees excess which we talk about, this 2 rupees premium can be included in application, can be included in allotment, or can be included in call money, first and final call money. This premium can be included anywhere. Generally, if nothing is mentioned, you can assume that premium is being included in allotment. Is this clear? When the problem is silent about where premium money is included, we can assume that it is in allotment money. When the problem is silent about where premium money is included, we can assume that it is in allotment money. When the problem is silent about where premium money is included, we can assume that it is in allotment money. That is, the premium money is included in allotment. Or as I told you, it can be also included in application money or call money. If specifically they give instruction, you go by that. Otherwise, we can assume that it is included in the allotment. So I am giving the entry now. Entry for share premium, assuming it is included share allotment. That means allotment money is including security premium. If you take the above example I have given, 4 rupees an allotment, then I can say 2 rupees including including 2 rupees premium money. ₹3 application, 4 rupees allotment, including 2 rupees premium. 5 rupees on first and final call. So therefore it is coming to how much? 12 rupees. Is this clear? Entry for share premium, assuming it is included in share allotment money. Now let me write the entry. The entry will be, now you know that entry share allotment to share capital we write now. Share allotment account data to share capital. Now I told you share allotment is including premium, that is with the total I can write. With the total including premium. Now you should bifurcate share allotment face value. That means in the above example, if you take allotment money 4 rupees is including premium, no? So if you take out 2 rupees, come on, tell me 3 rupees application. 3 rupees application. 4 rupees an allotment means 2 rupees is including premium. If you take out the 2 rupees, what is the face value then? 3 rupees application, 2 rupees allotment, 5 rupees call money. It is coming to how much? 10 rupees, no? I say 3 rupees application, 2 rupees allotment, 5 rupees first and final call. It is coming to how much? 10 rupees. 3 rupees application, 2 rupees allotment, 5 rupees, coming to 10 rupees. Whereas here it is coming to how much? 12 rupees. Clear to you? That means we shall transfer always, this will be transferred to share capital account. So 3 rupees application towards share capital, 2 rupees allotment towards share capital, 5 rupees towards share capital. But this 2 rupees will be transferred to which account? Security premium. That is what I am writing here. Share allotment account data to share capital. Okay. To security premium. Okay. This is what is called as entry for allotment money due, including premium, including premium, and including premium. And I have also told you, suppose if it is not in allotment application, in place of allotment you write which account? Share application. The remaining two things are same. If it is included in share call, you write share first and final call to share capital to security premium. I think you all are following this. The premium is included in allotment money, you debit allotment. If premium is included application, you debit share application. If premium is included in call money, you write debit call money. Whereas credit aspect is same. Okay. I am writing note here. The amount of security premium may be demanded with application money, allotment money, call money. The amount of security premium may be demanded with application money, allotment money, call money. So we are assuming where? Allotment money. Okay, is this clear? Then one more. This is note 1. Note 2. This security premium will be shown under the heading reserves and surplus. This security premium account will be shown under the heading reserves and surplus in the balance sheet. So I told you we are having format. You need not worry. This is why I am dictating these things, because in a true or false statement you may get it. But just remember, like in balance sheet we are having heading shareholders funds. What is that? Shareholders funds. Under that, share capital, reserves and surplus. Share capital is the amount that is being collected from the shareholders, be it preference shares, be it equity shares. Reserves and surplus is nothing but general reserve, capital reserve, profit and loss account, credit balance. These items will appear under the heading reserves and surplus. Security premium. Okay, these items will appear under the reserves and surplus. Then long-term liabilities, short-term liabilities. Not long-term liabilities is called as non-current liabilities. Short-term liabilities mean the liabilities which need to be paid within 1 year is called as current liabilities. Okay, these two things you should remember. The next point is the uses of usage of security premium. Is restricted to the following as per section 52 of the Companies Act. That means security premium is gain, no? The security premium is gain. How this gain will be adjusted? That is what I am saying. Usage of security premium is restricted to the following as per section 52 of the Companies Act. See that what is this? What is the meaning of this, sir? See, section 52 says that this gain can be adjusted for writing off certain losses. What are those losses, sir? What are those losses? Let us see that. Issuing of fully paid bonus shares. We'll be discussing that in CA Intergroup 1. Issuing of fully paid bonus shares. Usage of security premium is restricted to the following as per section 52 of the Companies Act. Issuing of fully paid bonus shares. Bonus shares are shares which are issued to the existing equity shareholders at free of cost. That we'll be discussing at CA Inter stage. Bonus shares are offered to existing shareholders without charging anything, out of free reserves or out of security premium. These things you will be learning in the next level. So that means premium can be used for issue of fully paid. That means 10 rupees is the face value. 10 rupees has been paid. So for every, they will be giving like this, for every 5 shares, 1 bonus share. Suppose I am having 50,000, companies have issued 50,000 equity shares. Then 50,000 by 5, how many bonus shares? 10,000 bonus shares is being given. This bonus shares is, bonus is free, no? The meaning of bonus is free. This bonus shares, to issue bonus shares, this security premium can be utilized. Okay, for the time being, just listen to me. This security premium can be used for issue of fully paid bonus shares. Okay, normally when you issue, simple logic, normally when you issue shares, net effect, I told you, bank to share capital, no? Here you are not receiving the bank, then you debit security premium account data to share capital. Simple logic. If I am collecting money by issue of shares, I write bank to share capital. But if I am issuing bonus shares, you write shares security premium account data to share capital. That means this security premium can be used for issue of bonus shares. Because I don't want to confuse you at this stage. So at this stage, let me tell you what is bonus shares, etc. Briefly I have explained you. We'll be having detailed discussion in CA Inter. Then write off preliminary expenses like formation expenses. Company, to start company, you need to incur some expenses. Those are called as preliminary expenses. This can be written off against security premium. Okay. Then write off discount on issue of debentures. Write off discount on issue. We'll be having next chapter. I told you company cannot issue shares at discount. We discuss in debentures. 100 rupees debenture can be issued for 90 rupees. Difference is how much? 10 rupees. This 10 rupees is loss. This loss can be adjusted by the company against security premium. That is the meaning of it. Then fourth point. Write off premium on redemption of preference shares. This is also you are having the chapter in CA Inter. Previously we used to have this in CA Foundation, not CA Foundation, CPT. It has been taken to where? CA Inter. Write off premium on redemption of write off premium on redemption of preference shares. See, redemption means repayment. As per Companies Act, every company has to redeem preference shares within a period of 20 years. Within a period of 20 years. If you want to redeem the preference shares, you have to redeem these preference shares within a period of 20 years. Except infrastructure, those companies which are issuing preference shares for infrastructure companies, 20 years cannot be, 20 years you don't have any restriction on that. I mean, this 20 years is not applicable. That is there in the law, that can be discussed later on. Write off premium. Premium means, suppose at the time of issue of share, I am getting 100 rupees. Then at the time of repayment, redemption means repayment as per the terms and conditions. Again, you are having section 55 for that. That is a different thing. You can learn it inter. So for that, let me tell you, repayment of amount to preference shareholders. 100 rupees preference share, you are redeeming it by giving 10 rupees. 100 plus 10, it becomes 110 rupees. Is this clear? That means 100 rupees share, you are redeeming it 110 rupees. The 10 rupees is a loss, no? Loss at the time of repayment, and that can be adjusted against this issue, against this security premium. And then buy back the own shares of the company. Buy back the own shares of the company. Buy back the own shares of the company. It means that okay, buyback. I think this buyback shares is again new concept to you. Like a company can buy their own shares from the share market. It looks funny. How can I buy, sir? This is a separate topic. For the time being, company want to reduce the involvement of the investors, the outsiders. If outsiders want to sell the shares in the market, the company may catch this opportunity of buying the shares from secondary market. By buying the shares from secondary market, they are cancelling their own shares. How, when they can cancel, how they can cancel, you will be learning in group 2 CA Inter. We are having separate chapter called as this. Similarly, write off premium on redemption of preference shares you are having in group 1. But why you are learning, and why you are explaining this, sir? It is there in the material, I am explaining. The reason is that it is there in the material means you can get a statement of true or false. That is the reason why theoretical point of view, you should, this is at appropriate stage where you can learn. Again, these things will be repeated when we go to next level. You will understand this. Buyback of their own shares. But I think just let me briefly explain to you. Those companies which are following section 133 of the Companies Act can't apply security premium account for the purpose of B and D. B and D means I am writing this is as A, B, C, D, E. That means those companies which are following section 133 can't use security premium for writing off preliminary expenses and write off premium on redemption of preference shares. Then from where they can adjust our profit and loss account. So whenever we are doing the problems, we are assuming that they all are following section 133. So it is not so relevant for us. Just I am trying to explain you. So maybe again this is also I am explaining from examination point of view, true or false statement. It is to be noted that those companies prescribed under section 133, prescribed under section 133, whose Financial statements. Financial statements means preparation of statement of P&L and balance sheet. Whose financial statements? Comply the accounting standard. Comply the accounting standards. Prescribed for them. Can't apply. Security premium account. For the purpose of for the purpose of B and D. That means they can't use the security premium is a capital gain, my dear friends, capital profit. This can't be used for writing off. You know, writing off means adjusting from preliminary expenses for writing off premium on redemption of preference shares. Okay, so I think with this I have completed the points regarding security premium. So what I do now, I am taking out one problem here. Pioneer Equipment Limited received on 1st October 2014 applications for 25,000 equity shares of 100 each to be issued at a premium of 25% payable. That is 25 rupees, 25% premium means, and 100 rupees is a face value, 25 premium. It is coming to how much total? 100 plus 25, 125 rupees. How they are collecting? 25 rupees on application, 75 rupees on allotment, including premium. Including premium means 25 rupees premium included, where it is included in allotment money. Balance as and when required means they have decided not to call now. The shares were allotted by the company on 20th October 2004 and the allotment money was duly received on October 31st 2014. So what they are saying, the shares were allotted by the company on October 20, 2014 and the allotment was duly received on 31st October 2014. Okay, record journal entries, the books of the company to record the transaction in connection with the issue of shares. I think these things we can discuss later on. Calls in arrears, calls in advance. Okay, this I'll explain before that. I think this has been taken from our material. So we discuss about this calls in arrears, calls in advance later on. So this, for the time being, let me go for solution. What is the solution? Tell me. Pioneer Equipment Limited, I have to give solution for this. Received on 1st October 2014 applications for 25,000 equity shares of 100 rupees each to be issued at a premium of 25%. The shares were allotted by the company and allotment money was duly received. We are assuming that 25,000 shares which were issued has been subscribed by the public and all the shares were allotted, because there is no question of any oversubscription or undersubscription. So now we shall write the entry, because final call has not been called. That is, what is final call? Balance amount means 25 rupees. As and when required means at present not called. That means no need to write entry for which one? This one. No entry is required for this. No entry. We need to write entry for only application, allotment. And allotment money is including premium. Okay, let us see the entry. First entry. First entry. What is the entry? Tell me. Bank account debtor. I am writing entries. Heading. Journal entry. Bank account debtor to share application. How many shares? Tell me. 25,000. 25. Application 25, no? 25,000 and 25. 6,25,000. Being the entry for application money is received. You know that you have learned in the last class. Second entry. Share application account data to share capital. You know this entry we write at the time of allotment of shares. After allotment of shares, you write this entry. I have told you already. The share application account to share capital being the entry for being the entry for transfer of share application money. Now, share allotment account due including premium you should write, because in the problem itself he has given that allotment money is including premium. Share allotment account debtor brackets 25,000 into 70 is coming to its total amount 18,75,000. 2. Share capital. Out of 75 you should deduct 25 premium, no? So 25,000. Why? Because premium account will never be added to share capital. It will be taken as separate account. I told you. 25,000 into 50. It is coming to 12,50,000. Okay. Next, to security premium account. $25,000 to 20. 25,000 into 25. 6,25,000. I told you premium account is included in allotment. Premium money is included in allotment, and that cannot be added to share capital. This is the entry for allotment money due including premium. Fourth one. Share. Now you should write the entry for allotment money received, no? Bank account debtor to share allotment account. Here you can write full amount. What is that full amount that has been collected? 18,75,000. being the entry for allotment money received. Being the entry for allotment money received. Bank account data to share application to share capital, share allotment account data to share capital to security premium, bank account data to share allotment account. Is this clear to all of you? Now, I think first call has not been called. This first and final call. Balance amount of shares as and when required means no need to write any entry for this. Okay, record journal entries in the books of company to record the transaction in connection with the issue of shares. Repeat once again. First entry you all are aware. Bank to share application. Second entry share application, share capital transfer entry. Third entry allotment money due including premium. And premium has been separated. Fourth entry bank account data share allotment being the entry for allotment money received. Okay. So now today, before I take the next problem, let me explain briefly about calls in arrears. See, what is calls in arrears? It is the refer to the amount called by the company which has not yet been paid by the shareholders till the last day fixed for the payment thereof. Generally, the company after making the allotment or after making the call money, any shareholder who has failed to make the payment, and such amount is called as calls in arrears. Then the amount of calls in arrears is shown by way of deduction from the called up capital in the balance sheet. I have already discussed. Called up capital minus calls in arrears is equal to paid up capital. This I have explained you when subdivision of share capital. Now the question is that if this is a very important point when you go to forfeiture of shares chapter. So generally after giving some time for the shareholder to respond to that, if the shareholder still is unable to make the payment, his shares will be forfeited. That means shares will be cancelled. That we will be discussing after completion of calls in arrears topic, calls in advance. So what is that we need to do now? The amount of calls in arrears shown by way of deduction, that is clear, no? But sometimes to avoid this forfeiture, shareholders maybe he will be making the payment after scheduled date, that is the date that has been fixed. Suppose 15th February he has to pay the shareholder, but he has made payment on 15th March. 1 month after, now for that 1 month, that particular shareholder who has failed to make the payment, either allotment money or call money, has to make payment of interest. That is what has been mentioned. The directors can charge interest on calls in arrears at the rate specified in the articles from the last date fixed for payment to the date of actual payment. From the last date fixed to the date of actual payment. But if the article are silent, the rate of interest has to be mentioned articles of association. Is internal document. Memorandum of association, external document. If it is silent, then table F shall be applicable, which empowers the board of directors to charge interest at a rate not exceeding 10% per annum. If there is any delay in payment, I told you 1 month delay. For 1 month delay on that calls in arrears, 10% per annum will be charged by the company. However, the directors have the authority to waive the payment of interest on calls in arrears at their discretion. At their discretion means if the directors don't want to collect, waive the payment of interest. Waive means they can cancel. Okay, if there is any reasonable reason explained by the shareholder, that interest can be waived off, means cancelled. Then let us see calls in advance. Calls in advance refer to the amount paid by the shareholder in excess of the amount due from them. These are two extreme situations or extreme ends. One particular shareholder has not paid amount. Other shareholder, even though you are not gone for call, suppose previous problem here. Here, let me take example. 25, 75 has been called. 20, that is allotment has been called, has been paid. This 25 they have not yet made payment. But one particular shareholders with over smartness, he has paid. Sir, anyhow I have to pay, let me pay 25 rupees. Then that will become calls in advance. Without asking the shareholders to make the payment, if any particular shareholder or few shareholders may be sometimes making the payment before company is asking, it is called as calls in advance. Then balance, then a company may accept calls in advance only if articles authorized to do so. The balance in calls in advance account may be shown as a separate item under the head share capital, but is not added to the amount of paid up capital. See, calls in advance, without making the call, shareholder voluntarily they came forward, they made a payment. So when that is the case, that cannot be added to share capital unless you call. Then if you pay, that can be added to share capital. Without calling the money, the shareholder, they themselves has paid, voluntarily made the payment, then it cannot be added to share capital. The more, then you may say that, sir, the shareholder has made payment before calls in advance, no? Before call is being made, no? It is called as calls in advance. So Company Act says that if articles provides, they need to pay interest at the rate of 12%. If it is mentioned in the article, if it is absent, the table F is nothing but ready reckoner. If articles are silent on any of these things, you refer to table F, and it says that board of directors has to pay interest on calls in advance at a rate not exceeding 12% per annum. So tell me, calls in arrears, what is the rate? You have to pay 10%. Calls in advance 12%. I'm giving just 1 minute time. You quickly go through that, right? So that we can discuss remaining things on this particular problem. Okay, so shall I go for the next one now? So today, as I told you, we are working out one problem on calls in arrears and calls in advance. Okay, shall we start doing it now? Okay, just go through the problem. I think this is the problem where might have gone through it. Let me mention here. Problem is about trust on Let us see. X Limited invited applications for 10,000 shares of 100 each payable. Application 20 rupees, allotment 30, first call 30, final call 20. All the shares were applied for and allotted. A shareholder holding 200 shares paid the whole of the amount due along with allotment. See, he has given the date. Allotment on 1st May, first call on 1st October, final call 1st February 2014. All the shares were applied. That means 10,000 shares were applied and for allotted. A shareholder holding 200 shares paid the whole of the amount due along with allotment. That means with allotment money, on allotment money means on 1st May 2013 itself, on 200 shares he has paid first call money which is actually due on 1st October. On 200 shares which has paid final call money which is due on 1st February, on 1st May. That means on 1st May 2013 itself, on 200 shares company has received first call money and final call money. Interest was paid to shareholders on 1st February 2014. Now thing is that actually when first call is supposed to be called 1st October, no? But when first call money was paid? 1st May. 1st May means May, June, July, August, September. 5 months before, first call he has made payment. So on that 5 months, on 200 shares for 30 rupees he has to pay interest. That is what we are calculating now. Interest on calls in advance. So now here I am writing on first call. First call money on 200 shares received on is equal to 200 shares into 30 rupees. It is coming to 6. This is clear. It is 6,000, no? 200 into 30. It is coming to 6,000. But first call money is due on, you can see when first call money is due, 1st October 2003. Therefore, interest on first call is to be calculated for 5 months. That is 1st May 2013 to 1st October 2013. So, interest first call is equal to 6,000 into, I told you in the absence of information there, interest on calls in advance to be calculated at the rate of 12%. To 12 by 100, for how many months I have to calculate? 5 by 12. 6,000 into 12% into 5 by 12. It is coming to 300 rupees. Then interest on here calls in advance interest on calls in advance on final call. Again, just like whatever I have written, interest on calls in advance on final call. Final call money on 200 shares received again. $200 shares when on with allotment money, 200 shares were paid, whole of the amount due along with allotment. What is allotment? 1st May 2013. Received on 1st May 2013. That is equal to 200 rupees into what is final call? 20, no? 4,000. Same you can copy paste. But second call money is due on 1st February 2014. Second call money was due on 1st February 2014. Therefore, that means you are actually on 200 shares you are supposed to receive on 1st February. But when this amount has been received 1st May 13, that means how many months before? Tell me. You have to calculate. Don't include first here. You can include this May month, but don't include February month because it is given on 1st February. So that February month can be excluded. That means you have to calculate interest from 1st May to 31st January. Let us count. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. So for how many months we need to calculate? 9 months. Therefore, interest is to be calculated for 9 months. So now interest on calls in advance is equal to 4,000 into rate is, I told you again same 12% into 9 by 12. Is coming to 360 rupees. Therefore, total interest on calls in advance is equal to 300 plus 360 coming to 660. Clear to all of you? Okay, now we can go for writing of entries. Bank account data to share application. Bank account data to share application. Actually, how many shares has been issued, my dear friends? 10,000 shares, no? 10,000 shares are allotted. So 10,000 shares into 20 rupees. It is coming to 2 lakh rupees. being application money received. In this problem, we don't have any premium. Second entry, you know that. Share application account data to share capital. Since there is no premium, no need to open which account? Security premium. This is transfer entry. Share application to share capital 2 lakh. Share application account data to share capital 2 lakhs. Next, you write the entry for share allotment due. See, at the time of writing the entry for allotment, you know allotment due, you won't be knowing that one of the shareholders paying calls in advance, or you won't be knowing that anybody is going to anybody failure to make a payment of allotment money or call money. Only after receiving the allotment money, then you can compare what actually I am supposed to receive, how much I have received. So that is why I think when you are writing the first entry is clear, bank to share application is clear, share application to share capital is clear. Third entry, share allotment account data to share capital. Entry for due. Fourth entry. Bank account data. Now here we should write bank account data. You will be writing the amount that 3 lakhs plus 6,000 calls in advance on first call, 4,000 calls in advance on final call, coming to 3 lakhs 10,000. Now this amount is called as calls in advance. What is calls in advance? Tell me. 6,000 on first call, 4,000 on final call. That I have given working notes. Clear to all of you? This is the entry for calls in advance money is received along with allotment money. Fifth entry. Share first call account data. What is share first call? If you see the problem, 30 rupees. It is there in the page number 115, my dear friends. I think you are referring to textbook. Share first call account data to share cap. How many shares? Tell me. 10,000 shares. 10,000 shares into 30 rupees. 3 lakhs. First call money due. Now you can see what is calls in advance on first call 6,000. Here I have written that. You can see. First call money is due. First call money received 6,000. So now tell me what is that you should receive? 3 lakhs. Already how much has been received as advance? 6,000. That means now the person, the shareholder who has paid advance won't be paying the money again, no? He won't be paying the amount again. So share first call account data to share capital. Narration. Already written, being the entry for first call money due. What I have not written. Now we write the entry, next entry. Sixth entry. Bank account debtor. Bank account debtor. Calls in advance account debtor. Bank account debtor calls in advance account debtor to share first call. 2,94,000. Or actually, the company is supposed to receive 3 lakhs, but 6,000 has already been received as advance. Bank account debtor calls in advance account debtor to share capital, being first call money received after adjusting first call, after adjusting calls in advance. After adjusting the following, being first call money received after adjusting calls in advance is supposed to receive 3 lakhs, but 6,000 has been received as calls in advance. Seventh entry, I think this is clear. Share, I'm not writing the dates, you will understand. Share final call account debtor to share capital. What is final call money? 20 rupees. So 10,000 into 20 rupees. Being the entry for final call money due. Being the entry for final call money due. Next, eighth entry. Again, you are supposed to receive 2 lakhs. But as how much has been already received for towards final call? Here we have written no 4,000 final call money. Much 4,000. So come on. Bank account debtor. Now we can write bank account debtor 2 lakhs minus 4,000. 1,96,000. Calls in advance account debtor 4,000 to share final call. Being final call money received after adjusting calls in advance. The following after adjusting calls in advance. I've told you already. What is calls in advance on final call, my dear friends? 4,000 rupees, no? Now, I think first entry is clear. Bank to share application to share capital, share allotment to share capital. Here I think I'm not in the entry. Amount, sorry. What is application allotment money? 3 lakhs, no? Then bank account debtor to share capital to calls in advance. Actually 3 lakhs is supposed to receive, But how much has been received? 3,10,000. No, that we are splitting it. 3 lakhs towards share capital. This 10,000 is rupees towards calls in advance. When this 3 lakhs is first call money due. But out of first call money due, already calls in advance is how much on first call? 6,000. Slowly this we are closing. How much has been closed by debiting? 6,000. Now calls in advance credit is 10,000. Calls in advance debit is 6,000. What is still credit? 4,000. That is called as calls in advance final call money. So calls in advance 4,000 has been now debited, so that calls in advance account has been closed. 2 lakhs you are supposed to receive. But how much you are received, my dear friends? 1 lakh 96,000. The reason is that 4,000 has already been paid by the shareholder who is holding 200 shares with the company. So he has paid first call money advance, second call money also as advance. Last entry, interest has been paid. So what is the entry for this? Entry for interest will be interest on calls in advance account at R. $300 plus 360. You already calculated, coming to 660. And this amount is given to shareholders. But in the problem he has given, that amount has been paid. First we are writing entry for due to shareholders. Being the entry for being the entry for interest on calls in advance. 10th one. Now the payment has been made to shareholders. Now you write entry shareholders account at R to bank account. Shareholders account to bank. Being the entry for payment is made. For interest is paid, you write. Interest is paid. Interest is paid means interest on calls in advance. Is this clear? Interest on calls in advance. I hope you got the clarity on this. So today we have completed problems on security premium. We haven't done any problem on calls in arrears asset. Calls in advance we have done. Interest on calls in advance also we have done. So the next class we are having 2 more problems. Those 2 problems if we complete, then we can go for forfeiture of shares and reissue of shares. I hope you all are following this. Today's class is very important. We have got so few basic things. I think you can go back and can just revise it, right? Thank you. We'll meet in the next class. Till then, goodbye. Thank you. God bless you all.